Yeah, man. And Roots Reggae Radio. Again, I will say it in English. They don't run my mouth, I run my mouth. So, anything that is said, when you come check me, welcome, welcome. Conscious Thought. Wednesday, the 6th of September, children are going back to school. Parents are celebrating how awesome their little children look. And yeah, it's one of them things, you know. Love and happiness. I gotta get that Al Green one of these days. I love that track. This week we're starting out as it's a message that we bring. Thank you for the opportunity to bring it. The first song I'm going to play for you is Robert Nesta as we start the show. And this one is called War.
Until the philosophy which old one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war. It's a war that until they're no longer first class and second class citizens of any nation, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance
than the color of his eyes. They got to say the war.
Until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race. It is a war that until that day, the dream of lasting peace,
World citizenship, rule of international morality
will remain but a fleeting illusion
to be pursued but never attained, because there will always be war.
Everywhere is war. War. And until the ignoble
And unhappy mission that all our brothers in Angola,
in Mozambique,
South Africa, by human bondage have been tackled, utterly destroyed.
Well, everywhere is war. Is a war. War in the east.
Rastaman tell them,
War in the west. War up north.
war down south. What we say?
War.
This song is more pertinent now than it ever was. And it might
Until that day,
the African continent will not know peace.
we Africans will fight.
We find it necessary,
And we know we shall win, as we are confident in the victory of good over evil. Good over evil. Good over evil.
war! War! Miss Marcia Griffith was just in this country. Judy Mort, Rita Marley, that's the high tree. Very significant part of reggae history, you know. Today's show, on every show, you know, as much as I give a theme and a title, I think all of the show then is the same thing. Today I want to talk about reggae. Reggae in so many different ways and shapes and forms. Reggae and Rastafari are two things developed out of Jamaica whose sole purpose is to speak truthfully about the degradation we live in a colonial system. That's what it's for. So it's kind of, you know, it's difficult for them. Whenever I say them, you know, me I talk about 1% rich white people, whatever you want, whoever them is. See it? You can't go find them. They're not your government. Your government are puppets of these people. So it's your banking institutions. The banking institution own the governmental puppets that serve all of our countries. It doesn't matter who you choose. If you want to vote, this is what people were telling you years ago about, you know, people voting is unnecessary. It really is unnecessary. It doesn't matter who you vote for. It's the same policies that are going to come at you, no matter who the person. You might like this person better, so get them the job, that's cool. But you're not picking a leader who's going to lead you into the 22nd century or whatever. It's not happening. They're owned. So reggae does this for me. So I'm gonna I'm gonna give Miss Tasha Tee some love. I'm gonna start with that as well. I'm going to see Papa Era. We can't give her the one on the CD. Era with this one first. Yeah. Tasha Tee sent this track to me off her album. The track was called
Fire in Me.
I Will Find It. Yeah.
Fire in Me.
I don't read lips. Oh my goodness.
It's the end of your life, yeah. You took our lands, you took our gold, our families you bought and sold. What more do you want
Fire inside.
from me?
Fire inside, thank you.
Your mental walls and skin divide can never calm these raging tides. 'Cause there's something in your eyes just can't see. You cannot catch this fire in me. No, children, we were born to be free.
Like children were born to be free.
No matter what papers you sign, eventually you're gonna find you cannot quench this fire in me. Yeah. You told the trouble as the pitney, no, you can't sleep at night. To keep what you have stolen every day, you have to fight. Oh, pass the laws, making bloody sacrifice. We can't judge our children, but that now does suffice. Oh, yeah. Realize this is the end of your monopoly. Think you did lead, but now you find so you're the back away. Think you rule the world because you want your factory. Now you're fighting for the water. Still you can't quench this fire in me. No, children, we were born to be free. Yeah. No matter what papers you sign, eventually you're gonna find you cannot quench this fire in me. Yeah. This fire. You can't quench this fire. You can't quench this
Look, we're gonna talk in between us. The next song. Quench this fire in me. You ready for the fire?
Realize this is the end of your monopoly. Think you did lead, but now you find so you're the back away. Think you rule the world because you want your factory. Now you're fighting for the water. Still you can't quench this fire in me. We were born to be free.
Alright, tell them.
No matter what papers you sign, eventually you're gonna find you can't quench this fire in me. Oh, can't quench this fire in me. Children, we were born to be free. Quench this fire in me.
Yeah, man. That's the one called Tasha Tee. The song is called Fire in Me. She tell you can't quench this fire in me. She said in a message to the Babylon system, you know. So even with all of the degradation and the beatdown, we're not stopping. We're coming. We have to. It's a spiritual journey, you know. It's not a physical thing where we're looking for some money from them. It's a spiritual journey we're on to fulfill the destiny that we were set here to do. You see? So it's a purpose that is bigger than any of the things you do, you know. All the papers you sign, she's saying. She's talking about all them treaties that the Canadian government has signed with the native people and haven't honored any one of them. It doesn't matter about which paper you sign, you know. We know what you are. So we would like to move in a direction where we can fix the things we need to do as people. So I want to big up to my little sister who's always singing conscious tunes. Before I get to her next track, I gave her a twin spin tonight. I just want to, you know, I told some of you to go and get some paper and pen. You can send, if you're interested, send your responses to info@rootsreggaeradio.ca or CanadianReggaeWorld@gmail.com, info@rootsreggaeradio.ca or CanadianReggaeWorld@gmail.com. So when I was talking to myself, which I do quite often, about reggae, I thought to myself, the first question came to mind is, how do you define reggae? If you can define reggae for me, I love an answer. If you can, tell me about that journey you have. How do you define this reggae thing? And within that is maybe a part B is, what is it? What is reggae music? What is it? What is it? Is it an element? Is it what is it? I'd love somebody to help me with this. The next question is, why does it transcend all cultures? Every single culture on this planet is touched by reggae music more than any other music combined, possibly. Music itself is spiritual to me, all of it. But something about reggae music. It isn't more on a personal tip now. Why does reggae call you? Why does it call you? What is it about it that calls you to it? And within that, maybe a part B of that is, what does it do for you? Like when I listen to jazz sometimes, or blues, or, R&B, rock and roll, you name it. Different music create different energies coming out of a human. So, just tell me what reggae does for you. This is a sidebar for me, for my own purposes, I guess, but if you want to answer them, you can. Why is reggae worshipped in places like Japan? The way dancehall culture is revered. They revere the dancehall like some people revere roots reggae music, you know? Like people in Africa and Europe love roots reggae music. Whereas the Japanese, who are some of the most disciplined of the so-called races on the planet, actually take the dancehall like it's a religion. These children, Mighty Crown is one of them biggest sounds of in dancehall, and them into clashing and all them things, you know. They love the aggression of the music still, and the aggression of the whole clash vibe, you know. How is it that the music is so widely used? Comes from a place that is deliberately kept in poverty in Jamaica. Reggae makes so much money worldwide. How come Jamaicans still so poor? It's not something that only Jamaican people need to ask that question. Everybody needs to ask that question. Why are we so poor? Reggae produces billions or millions, hundreds of millions. Reggae's revenue is beyond Jamaica's debt. This mythological debt that most third world nations owe to first world nations and banks. This money we supposedly borrowed for infrastructures that don't benefit any Jamaicans, except for the rich Jamaicans. Those are questions that not only Jamaicans should be asking. It's happening in Africa, it's happening in many countries around the world, so it's a question everybody needs to ask. Is reggae a conduit for a spiritual connection? Is there a special reggae frequency? Is all music a spiritual connection? Can reggae love impact greater in the healing of the planet we're living on? Some of these queries are about a belief in a spiritual guide and energy, even if you don't like Allah, Buddha, Krishna, Christ, agnostic, atheist. Lessening the chaos that we live in is necessary. And reggae helps us to do that. Reggae in our genes want us to celebrate that love, you know. Reggae is a loving energy. It's a spiritual and intellectual energy. The more spiritually grounded you become, the more your mind is free to hear and listen to truths. It's a frequency that we're feeling in our reggae frequency. Anyway, I get to bring it to your way sometimes, you know. Every reggae soldier has their path. Pure love as much as truth. You know, that's what we're bringing to the reggae thing, you know. Reggae is like, as I was saying, it hunts down the truth like a lioness on the Serengeti. Within self as well as seeking it in others. The truth, when you seek that truth within yourself, and when you start to seek the truth in yourself and speak that truth within yourself, you have no choice but to look at it in other people, and it will make some of the people around you uncomfortable, but you have to maintain it. Saying, I'm gonna move to my next Tasha Tee thing. She gets a double spin tonight because this lady is always supporting me, and I support her music and her career over the years, as I've done many of the artists in this country. Run, Jack, my virgin. This one is called Ethiopia. Yeah. Ooh, that was Edward. That one came out. Leaving out, coming out to Babylon. I am on my way, so please come with me. Woo! With me, Ethiopia, yeah. To Ethiopia. It was 500 years ago. Babylon took us away from you. Brought us to a strange land with stories that were not true. So we are living out
enough next. What do I feel like today? I was thinking about a lot of songs. Mother Day Judas by Jesse Ryan and Gentleman. And then I want give me first time again, greater.
Ethiopia, I have so much to offer, so all of our sons and daughters. No, it's not the time for the truth, no, from creation, make we step on the other. Peace and love, is the only way.
We love justice, do I say that?
Let's go.
Look on I show that.
Ethiopia, yeah.
Even with the moment, Jarrett, it's hard to deal with. I love our guys.
Sailing across the oceans, crossing over the seas. I'm going to the motherland, for I hear her calling me. So I'm leaving out to Babylon, coming out to Babylon. I am on my way, so please come with me. To Ethiopia, yeah. To Ethiopia, teach us to love, teach us to forgive. The God of Ethiopia, divine majesty.
Which one of the first guy man you want?
Deliver us from the
Greater.
that we may prove fruitfully in the last days. Oh, Jah. When the enemies are past and decayed, oh, Jah. In the depth of the sea, oh, Jah. In the depth of the earth, or in the belly of our beast, Ethiopia, yeah. No more will I roam. Ethiopia, I'm coming home. Yeah. Lead us in the right way. Teach us to forgive, yeah. Oh, Jah, I'm coming home. Coming home.
Coming home. That's my little sister Tasha Tee, so she bad. Please, people, this. I've been listening to people bitching and complaining recently about reggae scene in Toronto and Canada, and I've done my share of bitching, as I don't know. But even with all of that, sometimes I have to say, I forgive Caesar and do them say. And the reggae scene in Toronto is still kind of sweet, It's a journey of love that I'm getting to be a part of, watching it grow and elevate. And very grateful to be a part of it, man. This is a historic time, Anytime you see turmoil and anger and frustration, sometimes that is the fight in itself, So you have to go through it, so you can really appreciate of coming through on the other side of it, There's a whole heap of really good things happening in this time, More artists are doing things, but we need an infrastructure somehow where, folks can actually earn a living, me, 24 hours a day, reggae music. That's how we do it. But a man said, and it's true, we're going to do it anyway. So that's why sometimes maybe they don't pay you, because you're going to do it anyway. But I'm into trying to make money and still be spiritual at the same time. Most people laugh at me when I say it and think it's a joke. And it probably is, I don't know. But I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to try and do business with people. Don't rip them off. If them rip me off, I'm going to work with them in the future. And just try and do... People come at me in a spiritual way. I'll work together and we achieve something. Sometimes it could be a barter service. It doesn't have to be just money. But we're about trying to elevate ourselves in an economic way You're supposed to fight to do so. There's nothing wrong with it. I feel musical all the time, so I have my little speeches in between the music. One of my brethren, them, you know, the next one coming out of Toronto to coming up with good music and a good, you know, when I'm saying you're a good brand, this youth is a good brand, good looking, smart, can sing, can DJ. Proud of them, I named Kirk Diamond. This track is called Greater.
You say a long time me a single strong out ya. Never give up, me stay strong out ya. Cause me know so me have to have a plan out ya. Cause if you follow this, this is how me can out ya. I'm a follow so me know fi sing my song, but I'm gone where I'm gone. And my mother said me sing them song, them be wrong. But this man don't trouble no one. But if you trouble me, that bring a bam bam. Yeah. Cause if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Yeah.
And everything.
So I want thing to know for sure now. I will be greater, greater, yes, no one later, no one later. I will be greater, I will be greater. So I said, do this and that we want, but I hide me like the man me trust. Can't go for them wicked and the ambitious. Them we did it when it slows like them want switch up. I just fell off the top, no chance. And I like that no stop me out. Me sing good songs for my fans because in a this time I hit the word I want. So I just await my turn and make sure that no bridge no burn. We must get what is due to me. Me no doctor but patience no due to me. Me and me youth and me in look up to. And from me look up them know say him a look up to. So pray that is not an option. I want thing to know for sure. Now I no one later, I will be greater, greater, yes. No one later, no one later, I will be greater, I will be greater. Me say a long time me a go strong out ya. Never give up, me stay strong out ya. I know so me have to have a plan out ya. Cause if you follow this a business, you can out ya. Follow some no fi sing that song, but you done where you bang. And my mother said me sing them song, them be wrong. But this man don't trouble no one. But if you trouble me, that bring a bam bam. Yeah. Cause if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. Yeah. So I want you to know for sure. Now or later, now or later, I will be greater.
Oh yeah!
Yes, now or later, now or later, I will be greater. I will be greater. Now or later, now or later, I will be greater. Greater, yes, now or later, now or later, I will be greater. I will be greater.
Yep. Now or never, I will be greater. The one called Kirk Diamond. Keep out the headphones for a minute. This is more like I decided to come to the show today and just kind of flow, you know? So I decided that the best way to flow sometimes is to write it down, because if I don't write it down, I forget half the things I'm going to say. So I'm going to try and break it up into pieces, or just go one long thing and then play all of my music. I don't know. Anyway, when I say they, you can call them whatever you like. That's you give them the title. They do listen when we speak. They have to. They're listening to see if we are beyond just talking. If we move from talk to action. When actions happen, we talk less and we become more silent, and they listen for that silence. Because they know when we're silent, who are actually working. What they have done for me and us is that they have convinced us that we have little or no worth. They have all levels requesting free labor. So I'm going to start with the government. When I was working on that Reggae Lane committee, and that's why the committee members weren't being paid for their time or their services, the dude in charge said there is no budget. Now, in their defense, me run and jump for the opportunity to be part of reggae history in this country. So when I heard Reggae Lane, nobody had to tell me twice. Man, I was jumping in quick. Yeah, man, stop laughing after the Richard. So, it was totally my choice to get involved. Nobody forced me for the nothing. Then the work started. Hours in meetings, travel, writing, photography, video, laneway cleanup, emails, text messages, inbox messages, meetings, conversations, interviews, manufacturing, retail, and skin teeth with enough people in the name of reggae. Remember, you know, they did not force me. I took it on by myself. And then I saw the politicians move. That's how they always move. They call it volunteerism or internship. But it's the same thing as slavery. The politicians in this country and those people wanted us to create this whole Reggae Lane thing to make them look good. So this politician gets, his legacy looks wonderful. But what do the reggae practitioners get? What is it? Why are you honoring us when you have no intentions of paying us? What are you honoring? These jokers, or they call themselves Diversity in Music Committee or some foolishness at City Hall. And what diversity? Music is just music. But the bottom line, after they're done getting what they need out of you, we have no budget. Concert promoters message me all the while. In the past month, we got quite a few because it's the end of the summer. We have no budget. Some of the people in the festival, film festival them, want us to promote their film, black films. They tell you they're gonna send you money or something. And then a few days or a week later, they call you up and say, we have no budget. Whoever they are, they make us feel guilty or afraid to ask to be paid for a service that they themselves do not endorse. They don't endorse reggae music, which is okay, they don't have to. But what is pertinent to take in here is that they make us people within this culture feel angry at me, Canadian Reggae World, Roots Reggae Radio, Toronto Reggae.ca, Roots Reggae Radio.ca. They're angry at us for asking them for seeking compensation for a spiritual thing like reggae music and reggae culture. I'm gonna read this to you. I've done it before and I'll do it again. This book, The Wise Mind of Emperor Haile Selassie I. You can pick up this book at Genesis 1, 14 St. Andrew in Kensington Market under the title Justice and Equality, page 55, chapter 11. And I flip over to the page here where I use this a lot for my slogans. The basis of racial discrimination and colonialism has been economic. and it is with economic weapons that these evils have been and can be overcome. I have read this thing in this room on this microphone several times. I'll read it several more times. The basis of racial discrimination and colonialism has been economic. Economic, which means they're taking it away from us. The basis of racial discrimination, they take the money away from you, and the rich at the top of the pyramid are the ones that we bow to, and we down here are the ones that do the bowing. And it is with economic weapons that these evils have been and can be overcome. His Majesty is telling you about economic weapons. Did you hear the word he used? Weapon. He's asking us to fight. We must fight for self. We must fight for our culture. His Majesty encourages us to seek an economic growth to defend ourselves in the midst of Babylon. Not to buy Mercedes and BMWs and Porsches and Audis and material crap, but more to defend self, our children, and our worldwide community. On that note, I'm going to broke it up to some music. I want something uplifting like that fellow gentleman. He has a track called Superior. And, yeah, he has this thing where he tells you God Almighty is superior and the devil's response is inferior, because it's about you making it a personal choice to elevate this Rasta thing, this reggae thing, and recognize the people that enslave us. We'll not know it, you know. Run tune selector. God is love. I know your loving is superior. The devil comes inferior. Oh, no dancing on the job, please. We have discussed this too many times. Oh, yes. Seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second.
Now here comes a musical thing from the King's offspring. Some people you're right, and them still choose to show you hate.
your yard.
From them I play bad, yo.
Them a bad.
People critical to sideless.
We call them modern day.
Judas, spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters. People critical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. Hey, so why should I be afraid of you when you bleed just like I do? The more you try to fight, judge your light keeps shining too. So I've got no time for you, cause in a mind view you wanna step in on my shoe. You wish you never leave alone and feel so damn confused. So every day you wake you hate because you know you're fake, and every step you take I bring you closer to your grave. But I am like a column when I'm easy to shake. The certain say I feel me run out who can't take. We guided by the master, defender of the faith.
What? Ordained to be great.
Oh, them about fighters, people critical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. Oh, them about fighters, people critical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas,
Jarrett?
spreaders of
I'm the monkey man there. To me? Good tools, yeah. That I have? Yeah. I want monkey man, one. Pressure that part of the I think I'm not in a meet. Yes, I know what it's in my library. He must have put Hibbert to them library.
Choose the right side and down to the inner by your foolish pride. I said no weapon formed against I shall prosper.
So they don't forget it. That's so fine. I know, right?
Disrespect and disaster. People critical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters. People critical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. But I'm on the night concoction zipper. You can't give me slip when me never see you slip. You can't give me stew, not even cash use. And some say me borrow, some say I never abuse. But I can't forget what I done to the juice and what his friends did to the tough man too. All in the name of suppressing the truth. But I absolute me, them can't come.
Alright, so they answer now.
Hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters. Hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors.
I like Satta with the juice now first. So we can say, I like the old tune.
We call them modern day Judas.
I want to hear this part.
Modern day. I don't trust no politician. They all lack vision. We the children of today are on a mission to fulfill the promise of tomorrow. Rastafari lead the way, care not what
Love.
Love.
Yeah. I love Michael. I love him I talk about, you know. Love. Do not trust any politician. They're not here for us. They're here to carry out their own personal agendas within what the government tells them to do. So the government allows them to rip off the system so that even when they are retired, they're still collecting a lot of money from other people's businesses. Politicians are not here to be trusted. They're here to have personal gain. As long as you know that going in, I kind of knew it going in, but somehow I got crossed up. Oh, I'm getting my glasses. Anyway, I'm gonna try to find them. Them on top of my head, and then right on my nose, you know. And I can't see nothing out of them.
I say, I get blind.
At the same time.
I know you get blind, because you know you're up on the 2, but you know if you get 3 now. I say, when my glasses, can't read nothing. Yeah. Truthfully, the basis of racial discrimination and colonialism has been economic, and it is with economic weapons that these evils have been and can be overcome. His Majesty is telling you to work and achieve something for self. It's okay to work for yourself. The system here has allowed you and I to be afraid to ask for money. We must elevate the value of what we're doing by paying each other for our services and not be afraid or embarrassed to ask for money. I'm not asking for anything based on freeness. Meaning, I'm not sitting around petting my locks and smoking ganja all day. I work at reggae music every single day. And as Isaac and I were saying earlier, we do it because we love this thing. We love it. We're going to keep doing it. Them love the ballet too. They pay themselves. I see reggae's value as well as reggae's worth. These colonial vampires will not dissuade me from my task. So since I get it, I intend to grow it. I want to say big up to the one called Carl Harvey, the brother of Rupert Harvey of Messenger. This man is traveling around the world on tour with Toots Hibbert, Toots and the Maytals band. I think they just finished another album that's being released. Carl sends us pictures of performances of a sea of 1,000 people jumping up and down to reggae music from several stops in Europe. Hundreds and thousands of white people jamming to reggae music. They know Toots, they know the music, they know the culture. Hundreds of thousands. Check out Carl's page on Facebook. The man has photographs and from the stage pointing outwards. And if you watch any of the videos, you'll see it. They'll pan the audience. The disconnect here in Canada is racist and deliberate. I give a big pause. The disconnect here in Canada is racist and deliberate by the government who I'm supposed to be serving. Are supposed to be serving me. I'm never quite sure how that works out. Yeah, true thing. Those are the walls that reggae and Rastafari are here to break down. This is my path. See, this is what I'm here to challenge. Everybody out there rolling up. I tell people all the time, them things say me are this and me are that. Brethren, I'm a frontline soldier. I'm a blunt instrument. I just put my head down and I run. And I buck down whatever's in front of me. And whenever I'm not useful, whenever they don't need me, I go and I sit down in a corner until them call me again. You know? I'm just like, I look at India. I know for no, try to be chief. And don't even have a clue what I talk about. But we don't want to be chief anyway. Okay. In order for reggae music to elevate, we need some smart and some creative people willing to do the work and wait. Maybe one day the accolades may come at them. They may not. You know, not because you sing reggae music, you go studio every day, you practice playing guitar, and you get on a couple shows and then other people don't pick you for the shows, you think people are fighting against you. Just because you're singing reggae music or any music whatsoever, there's no guarantee that you're going to be successful at it. If success to you is international success, distribution globally, getting on international talk shows, then hey, good for you, man. And that you look at And if you don't achieve it, which 99.99999% of you will never achieve it, does it make you a failure? I draw all the time. I am not what them consider as Picasso or Gauguin or any of these great Caucasian artists. I'm not good like them guys. Or any other artist. But I fully enjoy doing illustrations. I love color. I love watercolor. I love colored markers. I love to create things. I love art. But I'm not famous at it. But I still get joy from it. We have some people in the Canadian reggae scene who are performing and have an expectation of success. It's not, if you're in your 40s, headed to your 50s and it hasn't happened yet, there's a good chance it will never happen. But there's nothing wrong with hoping, keep writing and keep doing what you do. If you need to live that dream, live it. But as a reggae infrastructure, that's where we need to focus. Some of the people who do the singing maybe should focus some more on the administrative side of it. Because we need soldiers. We need foot soldiers, like me, to carry the industry and push it further ahead. See? When I speak about paying me, like I said, everybody have an excuse why they can't. And I'm just saying, you know what? You took the time to message me in some fashion because you in your mind think that I can help you to bring 4 more people, or I can tell 200 or 2,000 more people. I can do those things. But why are you calling me to do that for you and you don't want to send me even a $20 bill or a $100 bill or whatever it is that you think it's worth? All you do is contact us and only expect us to do it for free. I will always put up posters on my website for free, no problem. But if you need me to go on Twitter 2 or 3 times a week, all my sites through Facebook, all the things that I can do to help you to get the word out about your event, you should be willing to pay me for it. And if I'm working on somebody's project who is paying me, and somebody asks me to do a freeness, I may do the freeness, but I'm not going to rush at it because I'm not taking away time from somebody who pays me to support somebody who doesn't. It's not about just the money. It's about value. You value something. If we have a value, financial value on our services, we will raise the bar in the Canadian reggae scene. Mark my words. All right, we'll play more John. Rastaman Herald. What do you say you want to play for the people, eh?
Satta, yeah.
Cheese. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'll give people some good
Thank you. Thank you. I'll go back in that thing and get some more fun. Julian. Never come back more there. You know that we get this in close and I can't see nothing. There's somebody with my glasses on my face. Yeah! Yeah! What are people that track selector? Shit. Yeah, I saw it in the thing and I said, just me. Anytime you say roots reggae music, I tell you. Where you pick up?
A Jacob in La Healing of the Nation.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course. There's no other music on the planet can do this with me this time. I want to turn on the heat, the last track of the show. Rasta man, alright. Go look it up.
Yeah.
Woo!
Baby got to stick on sway.
Sadana. Woman ever
When you work with you and don't got to come on down on me wrong.
Kana.
Name I've got to be Sister Lana's I was there.
Sister Lana.
Sister Lana, I was there.
Good guy.
Don't got to come and work with you and don't think I'll call her Satta. Well, baby, got to work it to those Amazon I was there.
Sadama, Sadama.
Eccleton, Jarrett.
Jarrett.
Except for having fun days.
You do have it, man. Send me shit. You use it twice already. Satta. Microphone. Yes, sir. Yeah, Satta Masaga. No. Yeah, we light up the one. I stick with that one there. And I see reggae music biting us sometimes in this ways. Yeah, I was just kind of showing the item. My objective is to promote reggae music the best I can. I don't believe that we have no value. See? They would like us to believe that shit. See? People ask me about this whole Reggae Lane thing week after week after week. So, this is my brethren and sisters. This is like, to me, this is Reggae Lane could be a gold mine. I'm telling it to anybody who wants to hear it. It doesn't have to be me who has to be a part of it or make it work. But Reggae Lane, I showed it to these people a long time, says a gold mine there. If you don't believe me, look at the numbers of people around the world who have already been on Reggae Lane, photographing themselves with the mural. Germany, Holland, China, Japan, people from all over the globe have come to Reggae Lane. And the Canadian government now give it no love, no due. So I'm saying to the item out there, why don't we do it? You know? There's no need for us to, they have no interest in doing anything about it. They just want to use Reggae Lane. And I'm saying, if you're gonna use the word reggae, it's almost like you have to pay a toll. All of us as reggae soldiers have to stand up for the thing, you know. Reggae Lane is seriously a gold mine. And if anybody wants to get involved with making it work, step up to the plate, people. You know, people from Germany and Sweden and places come here, drive all the way up to Eccleton West just to go on Reggae Lane. Why aren't we doing events in that parking lot? Why aren't we doing events that help reggae music in that parking lot? Why aren't we doing things that help reggae artists in that parking lot and DJs and reggae culture? Why isn't the government talking to people who do reggae music as how best to make that a tourist attraction, a lucrative tourist attraction by bringing in concerts, daytime concerts? Yeah, I know they want my ideas. I give them ideas free. That's what we do. We're kind of silly that way. But we'd sooner see this thing work than have it not work. They can't do it, you know. They're going to keep trying, but they can't, and they don't understand why they can't. Reggae is a spiritual entity. If you have no soul, you cannot deal with the music. Reggae music, Reggae Lane, can be an economic boost to the city of Toronto. Why aren't we using it? It's like the laneway itself is tokenism. They have zero intention of elevating reggae music in Canada. They never said that it was their intention either. That's not what they said they were going to do. They just named it. I just took it that way because of the significance of reggae music to me and to the other people around this globe, the whole earth. These people here just wanted to use the word reggae because it sounds cool. It is cool. I'm aware of how cool reggae sounds. But now that you have named it, and we live in your country and we have been contributing in this country, at what point are you going to compensate the people who elevate the culture that you are trying to honor with your official Bob Marley Day in Toronto, as well as Reggae Lane? Why are you honoring something that you are still stifling its practitioners? How do we trust this government and these leaders of some music diversity committee that does nothing for music in this country except tell us a bag of shit about another meeting to make another recommendation about another meeting? Then people have meetings just to have meetings. Get rid of them, take their salaries, divide it up, and give it to artists, producers, promoters within the genre. And I bet you it will grow. If everybody truly understands, if you want something done, you invest in the thing, okay? They've done it before. They used to have reggae at Hyde Park all day. There's video on the internet if you check out the satellites or messenger. Thousands of people in front of them. The newspapers and CFNY and a bunch of these people used to actually invest in reggae music. Now they don't. They know the difference. They know what they can do, but they don't. So we, as the practitioners, need to step up and fight fights. If they don't want to do any events on Reggae Lane as a government, then maybe we reggae practitioners step up and show what Reggae Lane should be about. And we go and earn something from it. You understand? It's not what they are not letting us do, it's what we are not doing. We're busy fighting amongst ourselves about where the lane was put, how dirty it is. We have every single argument in the book, except for how, as a community, we could turn this around. Now, in 2 or 3 years, when the Chinese come and buy it and take it from us, that's when you'll all be going, why didn't we? It's going to happen. It's already happening in Jamaica. It will happen here too. Somebody else will make money from Reggae Lane because we're still too busy fighting amongst ourselves. Yes, I'm going to heal the nation.
Before you do that.
Oh, okay. Selector have a track.
Yeah.
Run the tune and surprise the people.
Now we feel that was a feeling that money could cheese. You got low. Or will die. Man, enjoy yourself until they put that in the because I was kill you. That's how we feel.
That's how we feel.
That's how we feel. Life coming out of the room. That's how we feel. I'm so respected.
Shut selector.
I'm so
That's not the time.
Yeah.
That's on that. I got to put up that.
That's how we sing. It's what I said about the boy now. Big up to an ice check.
So you got the one to call you wound. I saw it stay. I saw it stay. I saw it stay. One on one can't get no love. One on one makes two and I will never know about it long. It's one on one when I will give my back on you. I saw it down. I saw it done, I saw it stay. Touch it. No matter what the people of the world them say. I saw it stay. Keep on saying. I saw it done. Get about it. I saw it done, I saw it stay. Oh, that nice. Oh, I don't want to blame. You got no right to blame. So when you do the thing to people, see you got no one to blame. Not at all. You don't want to blame.
Got no one else to blame but ourselves.
Don't blame on your face. Cause you were up to the space. That's so
we stay. The message is in the music. Yes. Music is the message.
Until the world so little, we got so stay. Woo! I saw we stand, I saw we stay. I saw we stay. I know we know, I saw we stay.
The mighty big youth, alongside the golden voiced one of Dennis Manuel Brown. I saw it there, I saw it done. And we brag about who we are because we believe differently. So anything we set our mind to, we can get it done. And a boy can cross the border unless we allow him to. Well, then cross the border with Reggae Lane, you know. Then I come take a spiritual music and a spiritual entity and energy. And I guess them figures say it is time to monetize it in a corporate way. So then just take Reggae Lane, and I'm telling you, we're all gonna sit here quietly. And in years to come, when we hear somebody that is not a Jamaican owns Reggae Lane, you know, we're gonna be bitching and complaining again about how people come and take our culture. When here we are on the ground floor, at the foundation, and we're not doing nothing. So, everybody's talking about how come we don't use that parking lot. Well, why don't you go do it? Since you so concerned. You come look to me and you cuss me for it. Why won't you go and look to it? Look into it. Go and speak to the people that run Reggae Lane and see what you can get done. But what I am truly suggesting is that some of us come together and demand what we should demand for Reggae Lane and decide how we're going to make money from it and how we're going to split that money amongst ourselves so that we can host more reggae events and elevate our culture, because it's there for the taking. I've only said it 100,000 times, but I guess I'll have to say it 100,000 more times. Reggae Lane is for reggae soldiers. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know nothing about reggae. They just named it. They know nothing about this culture. In the UK, when you check out the Notting Hill Festival, which they're trying to break that apart in the UK now, hundreds of thousands of people listening to a DJ with one turntable. And a dub. And them stay there for hours till morning 7 o'clock. They don't want to go home. Pure dub never play. Pure dub. It's huge. And the British constabulary, them trying to break it apart now. Them go down to arrest people and abusing people now. So the Notting Hill Festival, them have broke it apart. Anything positive and strong, that's what they're gonna try to do. But again, here we are in Toronto. Reggae is love, so come and do what we're supposed to do. if them stop the works, them still need it, you know. They need reggae. But they don't know how to deal with it because they can't corral it. It's not something you can rope. You can't throw a rope around reggae. Reggae and goat and cow and them thing there. Reggae bigger than the whole of them. Bigger than the whole of wheat.
Reggae water.
You don't see the water. Just flow wherever it want to flow, when it want to flow, in whichever direction it will flow. And you have to just follow it. You can't lead it. Saying, yeah, well, again, I like that track. Thank you for that, selector. Jacob Miller would like to tell them some things that I would like to deal with in the future, which is the marijuana in our country. Run tune, please.
Please, Mr. Minister, a word with you. Only take a minute, sir. So don't you screw. You know fight against the wrong man.
I fight against the water.
Fight against the whining.
Either them water.
You know fight against
It's a cigarette smoking.
Yet you know. These things cancer.
And murder people.
Yet you know. These things cancer. Rasta man know the truth.
And I'm telling a long time.
So you can't fool you.
Sit there.
Rasta man know the truth. So you can't fool you. What was in from the wise and prudent shall reveal to the babe and suckling. What was in from the wise and prudent shall reveal to the babe and suckling. Tell me why do you fight against the Kaliman? Tell me why do you fight against the Kaliman? Yes you know, it's the healing of the nation. Yes you know, it's the healing of the nation. Tell me why do you fight against the Kaliman? Tell me why do you fight against the Kaliman? Yes you know, it's the healing of the nation. Yes you know, it's the
I don't follow fine handprints and points and
Move the handkerchief a little bit.
why?
So I can see the mic. So I can see the mic. Mic. Handkerchief.
I need to try it.
Turn on the TikTok of live.
Yes, please.
Find something.
True. I'm going to say one of the girls today. I'm 5 minutes now. We can go 4 or 5 more minutes. Did I ever have burger ice? Another one.
Yeah, no, 16 on school. Some balls came down.
Garnet Silk.
Yeah. We talk about enough things, you know. Roots Reggae Radio.ca. Conscious Thought. Phone number 4160-651-0101. Get ahead of myself. It's like this part of the show, I like to continue and reiterate some of the things that we did talk about through the whole show. And it's the same, literally the same information week after week, you know. Because Babylon is so tenacious in their programming of us. I am more programmed than most of you because I was born in the 50s. I know it's in the 50s and 59, but it's still the 50s. So it's harder for me to break free of the chains that them set around me. So I have to, if I can notice them, then only can notice them because I want to have less programming than me. Reggae Lane in this city is a gold mine for anybody who wants to get involved and help to grow it. And the only reason it doesn't do anything is because they're very focused that we don't benefit from it. And that's the truth. Nobody going to tell you them thing there now, but it's the truth. And they'll deny it. They're politicians. That's what they do. They don't have anything called truth inside of them. Whatever it takes to get them their political leg up, that's what they will say. So, for all the people that are out there who are yelling and bitching and screaming, why don't you all come together? If you don't like a specific person, like say me, why don't a bunch of you come together and do something? That's what I would encourage you to do. But it needs it's a group of people that can help this to elevate to something useful, where it's an international tourist attraction with international acts and international acts that are flown in, international acts that already live here, and some of our up and comers. It could be a place to break new artists. We could have a Reggae Lane song contest where people win major prizes to encourage the growth of reggae music and Reggae Lane. We have opportunities for growth where we need it. So, is that run a tune before you left me? Mm-hmm. Any tune, I will let you play it.
We'll go with Willi on that.
Yeah, this one is Addis Ababa, Willi Williams.
Sing a song, come let us move along, come let us chant the praise. Bring up my soul, down in
Africa, in Addis Ababa. Great Willi Williams.
Come let us sing a song, come let us move along, come let us get that praise. In Africa, in Addis Ababa. Come, let us move along. Come, let us get that praise. Remember your roots always.
I'm not Sabah.
Tell me, are you ready? Says the one called Willi Williams. Willi Williams is one of our gems of reggae in this country. That track you were listening to is a track played by the Scatterlights, the great Scatterlights, and Willi sang on it. So, talking about Addis Ababa, about Africa, about Ethiopia, a lot of the music we talk about is Afrocentric. Them call it Afrocentric, and we're proud of where we come from. The African pride is something we need to spread to all of our children, so our children don't feel bad. Girls, especially going to school with natural hair. You know, white men and white people won't hire black women with natural hair. That's why some black women walk around with these long horse weaves. And we cuss them and tell them so that they're not natural and we don't want them kind of woman there. And those women can't get no jobs if they go to their jobs with natural hair. That's a fact. So we need to find some businesses that hire people with natural hair. We also need to have a pride in self about natural hair. You know, I see a sister come on the bus with her daughter with a massive afro. And I had to high five mommy and daughter. Cause I haven't seen an afro like that in years. Her mom was celebrating the wonderful growth on her daughter's head. Me as a youth, them used to call my head Kaya head because me had some tough hair. You couldn't pull like a plastic comb through my head cause I hear it's ping ping as the fart them I broke out. That's why my head was so tough. See? And I was made to feel inferior because of that. We never inferior, Bridget. None of us are inferior. Those are actually dominant genes because, as you are well aware today, only one race of people, so-called race of people within the human races, because I hope we don't know where a race go. Anyway, I don't know what else to call it right now. Only one race that mates with every other race and produce only one race, and that's black people. Doesn't matter who we're with. Black people coming out of them. See? There's a strength in our gene pool. And we're not trying to take over the world, man. We're just letting you know what your strengths are. You don't have to argue with people when you're strong, you know. When them say, the elephant don't argue with the ant, he doesn't. He doesn't even see them. That's sound powerful, so if you know that, you know. I'm going to play more Garnet Silk. I want to play spiritual tunes, even though someone don't believe in no God and no church and nothing. The music still feels good, so run track, my brother.
Be still, all ye enemies of Jah. Know that the Lord God the Almighty shall rule the end of the Jah, Rastafari, I bless the first. Oh, let God arise, let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. What's melted before the fire, so that the wicked perish at the presence of God. But let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before God, yea. Let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing unto God, sing praises to his name. Extol him that rideth on the heavens. By his name, Jah, Rastafari, Addis the first. Our Father, strength and Redeemer, who lives and rules and reigns over all nations. A father of the fatherless and a judge of the widows is God. God set the solitary families. He brings out those which are bound with chains. But the rebellious dwell in Jarrett. O God, Rastafari, Selassie, Father, strength and Redeemer, when thou wentest forth before thy people. When thou did march through the wilderness, see, the earth shook, the heavens also dropped at the presence of God. Rastafari, Selassie first, the God of Israel. Oh God, the Rastafari, Selassie, our father's strength and redeemer, did send us plentiful rain, whereby thou did confirm thy inheritance when it was weary. Thy congregation has dwelt therein. Thou, O God, the Rastafari, Selassie, our father's strength and redeemer, has prepared of thy goodness for the poor. The Lord God, the Almighty, and Selassie, our father's strength and redeemer, gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. Kings of armies did flee apace, and she that tarried at home divided the spoil. Though ye have lain among the flocks, yet shall ye be as the wings of a dove covered with silver, your feathers with yellow gold. When the Almighty God, the Rastafari, Selassie, our Father, strength and redeemer, scattered kings in it, it was white as snow in Salma. The hill of God, the Rastafari, Selassie, our Father, strength and redeemer, is as the hill of Bashan, and high hill as the hill of Bashan. This is the hill which God, the Rastafari, Selassie, first desired to dwell in. Strength and redeemer will dwell in for Ababa. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord God, the Almighty, and His last your Father's kingdom is among them, as in Sinai, the holy place. Thou hast ascended on high, thou hast led captivity from man. Yea, for our rebellious also. But the Lord God, the Almighty, and His last your Father's kingdom redeemer might dwell among them. Blessed be the Almighty God. Look to the east for the coming of a black king.
That's what Marcus told them. He announced Addis after the first.
Christ in his kingly character. 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 One low brother man say Rasta. Who goes? It must be Jaja. Thank goodness I don't have to wonder. I know he is forever. Christ in his kingly character. 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 His foundation is in the holy mountains. Glorious things are spoken of thee, O city of the Almighty. He is a living legend of this Iowa, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Christ in his kingly character. 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 Many know the truth and hide it. Many feeling the vibes and try to avoid it. But the truth must be revealed. And oh my God is real. Christ in his kingly character. 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 One low brother man say Rasta. Who goes? It must be Jaja. Thank goodness I don't have to wonder. I know he forever. Christ in his kingly character. 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 Help me look to the east. Help me see the king coming. Help me see the king coming. Oh, 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 yeah. Christ in his kingly character.
Christ in his kingly character. Look to the east for the coming of a black king. That is the words of Marcus Messiah Garvey. Some people said it was a prophecy. Some people said it was a hoax. Some people said it was a play that Garvey wrote. And the play was written almost a year before, and then when it was being performed, it almost seemed prophetic that he would say that, and Haile Selassie I became something significant through the works of Leonard Percival Howell, who is the originator of the place called Pinnacle in Jamaica, the first Rastafari settlement. So, look to the east to the coming of a black king. Christ, in his kingly character, as Rastafari believe that Jesus Christus was returned in the kingly character of Haile Selassie I. Some people, historians, can prove it. Some historians can prove it not to be true, but it doesn't change what his impact has been. In this same book, again, I recommend it for young youths to read these things and learn for themselves, because sometimes the information you seek won't be coming from your teachers and stuff. You have to learn this on your own too. And this is in page 27, chapter 5, called Responsibility. And this one says, though life is short, one should live and act in such a way that his achievements will bring him and his country a good name forever. If he does not use his training for worthy ends, he will be an enemy to himself and an obstacle to others. Bless you. He will indeed be sick while supposedly healthy and dead while still alive. That explains a lot of us here in Canada. We are dead while we're still alive because we're sitting by doing nothing. Same. He's telling you to reach out and find the best of yourself and bring that forward. He's telling you to be successful in business and for us to actually work towards monetary gain. Stop feeling guilty about asking people for money. If you work for it, you are deserved payment. It's a simple thing. Like I said, some of the artists don't believe so just because they sang a song or they rehearsed for a few days they should get paid. No, you're not Damian Marley, you won't get the same money he gets. Okay? Until people know you, and now pay you. So some of you just gotta figure that out. If some of you feel that you deserve more, then you have to tell the promoter why you deserve more, but you shouldn't have to tell the promoter anything. The promoter is looking to make money too. So he's hoping that the artists come in are going to bring 10 and 15 and 20 more people. That's how business works. We have to look forward to it that way. Before we play the next tune, I just want to say, I just picked up on this one. I've been talking about it all day. Hurricane Irma has sustained winds of 185 kilometers per hour for more than 30 hours, making it the most powerful storm in recorded history. Now, what these seismologist people will tell you is that once you see one of these things, you will see another. So, hopefully them wrong, and hopefully, man know where I'm going, but she really want to do some work. So let's pray for the people that way are in her path. 180 kilometers an hour for 30 hours. The beating wherever she goes is taking is unreal. Anyway, we'll play reggae music because we love it, you know. So we'll run one more Dennis Brown for the other. This one is a double CD, double album. It's 2 tunes on the same album. I had this album, this 12-inch when I was a youth. I probably still have it in my collection. Run tune, my brother. What is going on here?
The twins are coming out post and with that. The DJ has a couple of
Alright, so when you come early and them will come eventually.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure, you know, always
Oh man, good to be early.
Yeah.
How about it cost them when they reach? Alright, I'm going to check up off the stage. We'll come back and run into the one card.
Not this one, that's the Addis something. The one I had is
Promise you won't ever make me blue. If you ever leave me, if you should desert me, baby, I don't know just what I do. I don't know just what I do.
It's okay if I move it back?
Just what I do. It was our day. That man should leave his mother and me. To the room that's back One more.
The back of that?
Actually, no, let me see the charger.
Oh, the charger. There's no bus station around here?
a bus station.
I'm not gonna go to Scarborough.
Just go back to Stoan
Alright, that's fine. I'll be
By the time I'm done with that. Now and then, I really think we have fun on it. Move on, boy. I like that tell for Rasta man. How do
Yeah, we're gonna say good night to the item. Thank you very much for listening this week. Conscious Thought, www.rootsreggaeradio.ca. It was a conscious week as well. Like I said, prayers to the people I'm down so. We're about to deal with a hurricane or a storm that has never been seen like it before. Some of them said they don't believe in global warming or whatever the hell they want to call it. Climate change and the same set of people who gave us an illusion, the illusion of a flag and an anthem, forcing black Americans to bow to an anthem that is about discrimination against black people. If you're looking about, I think it's the 4th or the 5th verse of the American national anthem, you will find that it mentions and supports slavery. It's there. Look it up yourself. Don't take my word for stuff. Stand for the American anthem. That's what they're asking Colin Kaepernick. Well, you know, with my last few minutes here talking about this thing, Donald Trump decides in the NFL team them will hire Colin Kaepernick, he's going to give them a hard time. So what the President of the United States is actually saying is that he endorses the murder of unarmed black people, black men mostly, but women too. So we don't know them thing there, you know. It's not like this is news to anybody, saying, but I don't need to just recognize what's in front of you. We have neo-Nazis fighting against the Ku Klux Klan, fighting against other different white people. White people fight white people now. Why? Yeah, because all of a sudden they feel threatened. The 1% people who run this planet, they don't give a shit about them people either. Those people actually thought they were superior because they were white. And they're all taking to the streets now trying to kill each other. Because they don't feel so special anymore. They want to stay white. Brethren, stay white, stay in yours. We don't want no. It's uno daughter them can look some of the children them. We not chase no. Okay? Stay white. We have nothing against you being white. Just stop trying to kill us. All I'm talking about racism is better now. Yeah? Donald Trump proved you all wrong. It's just as prevalent as it was back in the 40s and the 30s and the 1870s and the 16-something or other when Columbus brought the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria to the so-called New World. How is it a new world when people were already living there when you got there, bro? Well, this situation of racism is really a time for us as people to educate each other, as elders to speak to our youths to talk to other youths, and so on and so on. Education is the key. Education, not their education. What they gave me most of my life was programming. So like I said, I'm still trying to deprogram myself. See? And while I try to deprogram, I upload the information that is necessary. And the reality is, you have a gift, we all have gifts that cannot be stopped. You know what I mean? It has been proven over and over in every aspect of our lives. So, this racism thing is a distraction. You hate me because I can run faster, jump higher, read and comprehend better, And every aspect of your life, you are angry that I can do those things exceedingly well, and sometimes at a level that none of you can. I get it. But that's the gifts we were given. We're not trying to take over nothing from one another. We're not trying to get any of your profits. We don't want any of your banking institutions. We don't want any white supremacy, your Mercedes or your BMWs, man. You can keep all of the profits, man. Just stop killing us. Keep doing what you do. There's one race of people on this planet that kills everybody else, including themselves. You know, see, Chinese people are going to shoot down Pakistani people. You know, see, Indian people, native people in Canada, them things they're not going. White man kill everybody. If you want to make a change to racism, we must speak a truth that no one wants to talk about. One race of people is murdering everybody else, including themselves. If we can talk that truth, we can make a change, eh? Well, it's Errol cause this, you know, Errol fault. Errol tell me someone must play a certain tune to make the people know what I'm going, you know. And from we come here 6 months ago, or how long we there now, it seems like so I reach some people, you know. So we dedicate this song to all of you. I want to say good night to the one called Ice Steak, the mystic of disease somewhere out there. Antoinette, big up, tall people. This one is for all on out there. Guess what we are doing for them? Errol, tell them now.
Turn up the E.
Turn on it.
My selector.
My selector.
I said my selector. Oh, man. Operator, if you turn on it.
When say?
My selector, turn on it. Hey, no matter what me say, turn on it. Turn on it.
Let them know I'm harder than them, you know. Harder than them, you know. But like them, you don't know real I'm breathing and lock it down.
Say, oh, star. Let all the rhythm make it go. My selector. I want to know how the dance is so nice. Want to know how the dance is so wrong. Want to know how the dance is so sweet. Want to know how the dance is so jump. Say, operator, if I turn on the E.
Again.
My selector, I turn on the E. Say, operator, if I turn on the E. I look at them, if I turn on the E. I want to know all the girl them so trash. Want to know all the girl them so nice. Want to know all the dread them trash. And it's just on it on the people's choice. Operator, if I turn on the E. My selector, I turn on the E. Say, operator, if I turn on the E. My selector, I turn on the E. Yes, dog. Let all the music make it play. My selector. He said, oh,
can you imagine this a play for
let all the music make it play. Say, operator, I'm
the speak up around and why we not doing that? I don't next time, yeah.
I come for it. Well, the person from outdoor.
I get benders, I get, but it has to be fast. But we have to be.